Hi MMA fans, and welcome to another MMA fighting video. Mike Tyson is one of the best heavyweight boxers of all time who is known for his ferocious and intimidating boxing style, with a knockout to win percentage of 88%. While most combat sports athletes are just starting their careers in their early 20s, by the time Tyson turned 20, he was already at the top of the world. Claiming his first belt at 20 years, 4 months, and 22 days old, Iron Mike holds the record as the youngest boxer ever to win a heavyweight title. Each time Mike entered the ring, he looked like a man possessed. He would have charged forward with dodging moves and uppercuts, eager to take his opponent's head off. Tyson's fearless style and behavior in the ring made him one of the biggest names in boxing, and his legacy will stay in the history books forever. Unfortunately for him, there is a dark chapter in his life that he hates talking about, a chapter that will follow him forever. Even though he never openly admitted the accusations, Mike Tyson was a convicted rapist sentenced to 6 years in prison, although he was released on parole after 3 years. If having the word rapist next to his name wasn't enough, a new alleged accusation of another woman just came up claiming to be raped by Tyson in the early 1990s. Whether this accusation is true or not, this dark chapter of his life is now reopened, and the former boxing champion is facing a $5 million lawsuit. Is this a legit lawsuit that will demonize Tyson's name once again, or just a false accusation of a regular person going after a celebrity? Let's see what we know. But before that, please make sure to like and subscribe because it helps our channel grow. The new alleged rape claim. It's been almost 30 years since the baddest man on the planet was convicted of rape. This seemed to be a dark chapter from the past that is long forgotten. Nevertheless, just when Mike thought that the door was closed forever, another alleged rape victim appeared, accusing him of violently raping her inside a limo after the two met at a popular Albany nightclub in the early 1990s. We can undoubtedly imagine Tyson now making the Al Pacino impersonation from Godfather 3. Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in. The woman seeks to maintain her anonymity since revealing her name publicly poses a risk of further mental harm, harassment, ridicule, or even personal embarrassment. My friend and I were hanging out with him and his limousine driver. Tyson told us about a party and asked us to join him. My friend was going to drop off her car, and Tyson said he would pick her up in the limousine. Read the lawsuit obtained by dailymail.com. I got in Tyson's limousine to pick up my friend from her house. Tyson immediately started to touch me and attempted to kiss me. I told him no several times and asked him to stop, but he continued to attack me. He then pulled my pants off and violently raped me, the affidavit reads. The anonymous plaintiff claims she has suffered physical, psychological, and emotional injury over the years due to the rape. Now she seeks $5 million in damages as compensation for her trauma. As a result of Tyson's rape, I suffered and continue to suffer from physical, psychological, and emotional injury. I have experienced feelings of guilt, loss of self-respect, shame, embarrassment, sadness, anger, depression, anxiety, violent tendencies, drug and alcohol addiction, and confusion resulting from the brutal rape, read the filing. The alleged victim does not provide an exact date of the attack, and the only thing she is sure of is that it happened sometime in the early 1990s, around the same time when the 18-year-old Desiree Washington said that Mike raped her in Indianapolis. I have developed lifelong problems including but not limited to issues with sex and with being touched as a result of the rape. I have been unable to maintain or develop healthy relationships with men or anyone in general. I have experienced extreme emotional suffering including but not limited to nightmares, panic attacks, and flashbacks, stated the victim in the report, elaborating how the sexual attack impacted her daily life forever. The document does not clarify whether Mike's driver was inside the limo at the time of the alleged rape, or whether the vehicle was parked or in motion. In a separate filing, the plaintiff's attorney, Darren Seilbach, mentioned that his office did not simply take the woman at her word but thoroughly investigated her allegations and determined that they were highly credible. Tyson has not publicly commented on the allegations. If you like our video so far, please press the like button. An old wound reopened. As previously mentioned, this is not the first time that Tyson has been accused of a sexual offense. He was arrested in July 1991 for raping 18-year-old Desiree Washington in a hotel room. The first rape evidence was made by Tyson's driver, confirming Desiree's state of shock after the incident, which indicated that her story could be true. Shortly after, the physician that examined Washington in the emergency room more than 24 hours after the incident confirmed that her physical condition was consistent with rape. Although Tyson claimed that every interaction was within Washington's full consent, he was convicted on the rape charge and was sentenced to 6 years in prison along with 4 years of probation. Due to his conviction, Tyson must register as a Tier 2 sex offender under federal law. The former president of the United States was not so convinced that Tyson was guilty. In an interview with NBC News, this is what he had to say. "You have a young woman that was in this room, his hotel room, late in the evening at her own will. You have a young woman who was seen dancing for the beauty contest the next day, dancing with a big smile on her face. Looked happy as could be," Trump said. Spending years in prison and bearing the adjective rapist next to his name was not easy for the former champion. He never admitted the accusations and even said that now, after all, said and done, he wished he had raped her. "I just hate her guts. She put me in that state where I don't know. I really wish I did now. But now I really do want to rape her," Tyson said. The baddest man on the planet has been involved in many controversies outside the ring, and in his youth, many described him as a violent individual who could not control his anger. Tyson's first ex-wife, the actress Robin Givens, stated in the divorce papers that endless conflicts with unprovoked rages of violence and destruction characterized their late 1980s marriage. His second wife, Monica Turner, filed for divorce in 2002, accusing the athlete of adultery during their 6-year marriage. He was also accused of groping his former photographer, Lori Grinker. According to her, Tyson allegedly tried to grab her breast in the early 1980s. Mike could be very sweet and gentle when he was feeling it, and not very sweet or gentle when he wasn't. He once tried to grab my breast, and when I pushed him away, he got angry and threw my light meter in the snow. He had a somewhat spoiled side and, being the champ, grew accustomed to getting his way, she wrote about Tyson. However, all those controversies surrounding Tyson's name are during his youth, and he openly stated that he is ashamed of many things he has done during his young age. In the past decade, Tyson has been enjoying a calm and everyday life, working to become a better person. Tyson tied the knot with his third wife, Monica Spicer, in 2009. The couple has 2 children, although Tyson has 5 older kids from his previous relationships. In an interview with USA Today, Tyson said, "My whole life has been a waste. I've been a failure. I just want to escape. I'm really embarrassed with myself and my life. I want to be a missionary. I think I could do that while keeping my dignity, without letting people know they chased me out of the country. I want to get this part of my life over as soon as possible. In this country, nothing good is going to come of me. People put me so high, I wanted to tear that image down." Those are the words of a changed man, and regardless of if he was guilty of the crime, he is definitely on the way to becoming a better human being. But over the years, nothing else could trigger Mike Tyson more than someone calling him a sex offender or a convicted rapist. This has been a hot topic for him ever since the conviction. One such example was an interview with a Canadian reporter. When the reporter mentioned the words convicted rapist, Mike's facial expression changed. His heart started to beat fast, and he went after the reporter, insulting him verbally. Even though the reporter tried to change the topic and continue the interview, Mike could not forget what was said and continued with the insults, forcing the reporter to end the discussion. This only shows how big of a wound this allegation is to his name. Almost 30 years have passed since Mike was initially convicted of rape. After all this time of remembering his youth and regretful actions, the new accusation could reopen an old painful wound that could cause Mike some new episodes of rage and anger. We can't know for sure how this case would go. It's been almost 30 years since the alleged crime, and there can be no solid pieces of evidence of Tyson raping the victim. If somehow it proves accurate, this could change Tyson's life forever, and he would go through another difficult period of anger and frustration. On the other hand, even if it is proven wrong, or there is not enough evidence to confirm the allegation, there will always be the what if factor, no matter what. When you are rich, people go after you. In some cases, they would try to extort money from you, blackmailing that they will falsely accuse you of something you didn't do. Mike Tyson is innocent until proven guilty, and we can't jump to conclusions about whether those allegations were true. And what do you guys think? Do you believe Tyson is genuinely guilty of the accusations? How do you think this would affect his life in the future? Leave your thoughts in the comments, and if you like to watch more content like this, please make sure to like and subscribe.